Hey everybody, Coach Charlie here. This is a little tool that I've been using for myself. I didn't actually even realize that I was using it for myself, but then I was looking through my own little notebook and my own little journal for tools and tips and stuff like that to share with you guys, and I kind of came across several pages that looked very similar to this. So I created this in Numbers. Basically, it doesn't have to be in a spreadsheet, mind you, but I did this so that I could kind of convert it to PDF and then share it with you guys. So I'm just going to go over what it is real quick and then, kind of as a tutorial, if you will, and then I'll share this with you guys in the private Facebook page or through that private Facebook group. A group is the only way I can share files in Facebook. So if you're not a member of that group, message me, get a hold of me somehow or another, and I'll make sure I add you to that group, and then you can download this on a PDF. Or through my ramblings here on the video, you can recreate this for yourself pretty easily. So, all right, so I'm in this spreadsheet, and I'm trying to, there we go. I'm trying to resize that so you can kind of see the whole thing. So basically what I have here, and these are, again, this is a model within the pages of my own little journaling and stuff like that. And what I have here is I kind of break up my pages, and I put my goal in here. So since we were kind of in a fitness focus, let's say my goal is to complete 90-day fitness program and associated meal plan. How's that? Since you know how much I think those things are connected. So this is your goal, and if you use your SMART criteria, you should have a really specific, measurable goal, right? So if the purpose behind that goal is that my current weight is 185 and I can't run a mile, or yeah, sure, let's call it a 5K just for the heck of it, just because it's a little more measurable. And I eat crummy food, right? I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here. Maybe I should have thought this through before I hit record. But at that, that's where you're at right now. That's your honest assessment of who you are and what drove you to this goal, right? This is kind of your why. And so you've defined this goal for yourself. And as a result, when, again, through that SMART criteria, you'll know you have achieved your goal when, maybe you wanted to lose 10 pounds, and you're 175 pounds, and you compete in the XYZ 5K or complete. Maybe I should have said complete. That's even better, isn't it? All right. And, increase diet to 85% veggies. And I can, no worries there. So the beauty of this being in a spreadsheet, right, is I just reduce my font. But obviously if you're writing on this, it's much easier, right? You can just kind of scribble. And that's what mine look like, I'll be honest. I just have notes and scribbles all over the place. Okay, so this is where you need to start. Capture your goal, do your befores, do your targets of whatever they are. Maybe it's not weight related. You guys know how I feel about that stuff. But, here's my honest assessment of where I am, what's bothering me, what I have to stop doing or what I need to change. And through this, I'm going to get to this goal. Okay. All right. And then the first kind of the noticeable thing are these little exclamation points. These to me are my milestones. So if you complete it, like, this is pretty convenient, but if you completed a 90-day program with me, we would have an initial consultation where we would capture this data. Then at 30 days, we would reassess, see how we're doing. 60 days, we would do it again. These are the measurements, whatever it is. Let's do a timed run. Let's see how far we can go without stopping, that type of thing. And then 90 days, how closely did I achieve my result? Okay. So that stuff's pretty straightforward. The reason I have the page divided into tools and accelerators and distractors and obstacles is this is kind of from the corporate world of a risk assessment. So if I know that, I'm trying to think here, my wife is going to do the program with me. Okay. I, that's a help. That's a tool. That's an accountability tool. So I'm going to put that up there. If I know that there's a fun run somewhere in the middle here, and you can tie this really closely to dates, that's a help. So if I know if I compete in that or complete that fun run, whatever it is, that's good for me. That serves my goal, right? I don't know what else. What else can you think of? I'm gonna call Coach Charlie, right? And maybe that's a repeating thing. So maybe that's something that you copy and you paste, and we put that in here and say, yeah, we're gonna call him there. We're gonna call him there. We're gonna talk to him a lot because he's gonna help, right? And that's what this is all about. Excuse me. Let's say over here, I know I'm going to do a 3-day cleanse, and that's kind of some next level type of stuff. Don't worry about that. Anything that serves, maybe you have a soccer game, maybe there's some kind of field trip that's a hike or something like that, right? So anything that helps you achieve your goal, anything that's going to aid, anything that's a tool or an accelerator, because if you want something badly enough, you'll find a way, right? And this is how you do that. Down here, and this is unfortunately our brains are so wired towards the negative. Down here, this is the stuff where you really need to pay attention. This is where most clients kind of, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. You know what? If you don't plan for success, you're setting yourself up. For example, let's say that there's a wedding in here. Uh-oh. Right? And before that, then there's a bachelor's party. Is that going to help you? What do you think? You think the diet and the alcohol consumption is going to help you achieve your goal, or is that potentially set you back, right? So if you know that stuff is in there, let's say that this is Thanksgiving, right? And then that means that somewhere along here, probably within the next 30 days, is Christmas. Doesn't have to be a distraction or an obstacle, but it can be depending on what your goal is, depending on what your willpower is. For me, I have sometimes business travel. Business travel's tough. What am I going to do? Now, the reason I bring this up is when you capture all this stuff and you brainstorm all the things that might get in your way between now and day 90, you have an opportunity to talk with your coach, whether it's me or not. Talk with this person who's doing the program with you and say, listen, I'm going to this bachelor party, man. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. What can I do here that's going to offset, right? And it can be as simple as hydrating. It could be as simple as healthy snacking. And we can talk about that as a technique, but it's kind of a beforehand type of thing. If you eat something real healthy before you go, you're not as hungry, you're less likely to blah, 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 blah. My business travel, I make provisions to have my Shakeology prepared. So, whatever hotel I'm staying at, hey, you have a kitchen? Does it have an available blender for me? Is this something I can do? It sounds kind of silly, but it makes all the difference between having my whatever 4 days worth of Shakeology or not having my 4 days worth of Shakeology. And to me, that's pretty significant impact on my health and wellness. So it really helps me out. You have to account for what if something pops up in the middle that you weren't anticipating, like an injury. You need to think about that. How long is that going to affect you? What can you do instead up here? Maybe you get injured, so you take this, you can't exercise quite as, I'm not going to move that because it does weird things, but um, maybe you weren't anticipating that injury. So to offset it, since you can't exercise as much, you do your 3-day cleanse here instead. See how this tool kind of helps you offset. And what it does is, just like I kicked off the nutrition video, everything in moderation. Your life is balanced. I really love to see a lot more positive tools and accelerators and helpers than obstacles. But don't lie to yourself. Don't ignore obstacles and distractions down here just because you want your sheet to fit my model of, hey, you should have more tools and accelerators than distractions and obstacles. Don't manage to the metric like that. Just be aware. What else can I do? Oh, something else popped up. Something else popped up. Something else popped up. Okay, well, how are you offsetting that? Find ways, find tools, find accelerators. Get on my webinar, get yourself motivated. Maybe you make this 60-day check-in a party, where everybody kind of cooks one healthy snack or one healthy side dish, and you get together with a bunch of friends and say, wow, we just had a really good time hanging out together and we actually ate really healthy. I mean, you can plan for that type of stuff, and it's really, really helpful in getting from here to here and being able to see, if you're as visual as I am, the delta, the difference between how many tools and accelerators you have versus distractions and obstacles. And it also lets you plan ahead for stuff like this that you see, um, so you don't just kind of end up becoming a victim of, oh crud, I do have this business travel, it's really going to impact things. Oh well, there's the excuse I needed to eat like crap for a week, or to not work out. um, there's a lot of tools here. Business travel for me, i, I have on demand, oops, not on demand, I have on demand workout programs that you can stream from any mobile device, your phone, your iPad, a PC, anything. Boom, on demand, stick with your program. Maybe you just modify this week. Maybe because of what you're doing, you need a modification. But if your coach doesn't know that, they can't help you do that. Okay, so that's just the kind of stuff. That's how I use this. Obviously, I use this for a lot of facets of my life, right? Not just for my fitness. This is great for, Christmas is coming up. This is a great financial tool as well. Hey, I'm going to be buying a lot of stuff. I'm going to be spending quite a bit of money. What can I do in the offset? Can I make a little extra money? Can I set some more aside? Is there a way to, I don't know, if you're going to use a credit card for a major purchase, is there a 0%? And this gives you a timeline to say, okay, this one I just happened to set at 90 days. This can be whatever timeline you need it to be. This could be daily if you need it to be that. This would make a great a daily journal if you wanted to capture your thing. So anyway, without all this little writing and all the little taps in there, I'm going to share this PDF. You'll be able to print that, or like I say, this isn't really hard to recreate in Excel or in Numbers, or any kind of little graphical program for yourself if you prefer the digital format like I do. But anyway, just one more tool, one more tip to get you on your way to a healthier, happier life. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.